Often we find ourselves entangled in complicated situations where a woman stirs our emotions. Some guys keep insisting, thinking that if they stick around or try to solve everything, it will be positive. But sometimes we fail to realize that this can do us more harm than good. When we're always available, always trying to solve problems for her, unknowingly we're giving her the power to treat us poorly. Today, let's delve into the female mind, observing what happens when we choose to take a step back and maintain silence to protect our own emotional health. It's important for us to understand this better, so let's begin. First point, the restlessness of uncertainty. Women are quite curious, aren't they? Even if they're not that interested in a guy, they stick around, keeping an eye out just to find out what's going on. Especially if you were that clingy guy always after her, insisting and seeking attention. Now, if there's still something lingering for you from her side, brace yourself for a lot of doubt. She'll try to maintain contact subtly, dropping some questions here, trying to extract information there. And the traps, oh, she sets them up gently, just to see if you're getting involved with other people. And when you decide to take a step back, silence becomes her weapon. She acts as if you were the master of games, as if all the blame were yours and she hadn't done anything wrong. The woman who still feels something for you will try to change the situation, but always avoiding taking her share of responsibility. She simply doesn't want to admit she did something wrong that could push you away. The uncertainty about what you're doing, with whom you're doing it, eats away at her inside. And guess what? She'll come after you, playing the victim, trying to understand what's going on. Most of the time, it's just to maintain control of the situation, to make sure she still holds some influence over you. The restlessness of uncertainty is powerful, my friend, and she knows how to use it to her advantage. Second point, the desperation of losing control. Just imagine the roller coaster of emotions this woman goes through when you decide to remain silent. It's like the ground disappears from beneath her feet, as if all the power she had over you fades away in an instant. Because you see, often the guy stays there at the woman's feet, suffering, begging for a little attention, making it clear how much she dominates him. And that's what makes her feel on top, as if she were the owner of the situation, controlling this poor guy's feelings as she pleases. A woman who knows she has a guy in the palm of her hand, well, she'll take advantage of that without mercy. But when the guy decides to step back, to use silence as a tactic, she realizes she's lost control, that she's not as powerful as she imagined. And then, oh friend, that's when the desperation kicks in. She'll chase after you, try to change things, do everything to regain the lost control. But if you, by chance, give in again, start paying attention to her again, you can be sure everything will go back to the same place as before. And that's when you need to assert yourself, show that you have control over your emotions, that you're not at the mercy of her whims. A guy with firm emotional control is capable of making a woman bend before him, beg for forgiveness, cry at his feet. That's when you show who's really in charge. Third point, the blow to her ego. Just imagine this situation. A woman always had control over a guy, manipulating his feelings as if they were pieces of a game. She knows he's there at her mercy, ready to satisfy all her desires. This fills her with power, as if she were a queen and the guy her loyal servant, fulfilling her whims. But suddenly, he changes the rules of the game. He goes silent, withdraws the privileges she was accustomed to, and it's as if the whole house of cards she built crumbles before her eyes. Her ego, once inflated, is violently wounded. It's devastating for her. Losing control over this guy shakes her self-esteem in a way she never imagined possible. It's at this moment that she feels desperate, trying in every way to regain what she lost. She might try to provoke jealousy, play the victim, use any tactic to hit the guy who challenged her authority. That's why it's essential for the guy to be careful before resuming any contact. He needs to observe her reactions closely. Will she admit her mistakes? Will she change her behavior? Or will she continue to act as if she's the one in control of the situation? Only time and observation will tell, and only when he's sure she's changed should he consider resuming the dialogue. Fourth point, she desperately seeks your validation. It's a harsh truth, but many guys find themselves entangled in this emotional web. A woman who plays with their feelings while they struggle to break free. What many don't realize is that by excessively praising her, caring too much, and striving excessively to satisfy her desires, they are handing over control of the relationship to her. Constant compliments, excessive attention, and exaggerated efforts to please her create emotional dependence, where she feels valued not by love, but by the attention she receives. It's as if you're the sun that brightens her world, and when you decide to step back, it's as if the light goes out, leaving her lost in the darkness of uncertainty. It's crucial to understand that for many women, seeking your attention is not just about seeking love, but also validation. And when that validation is withdrawn, she is confronted with her own insecurities and does everything to regain what she lost. So when deciding to use silence as a way to protect your own emotional health, know that your withdrawal can trigger an identity crisis in the woman who, until then, relied on your validation to feel complete. When you disappear, she may chase after you, not only for lack of love, but also for lack of the validation you provided for the comfort of being by your side. It was a convenient exchange for her. Fifth point, the importance of honest communication. In the context of relationships, silence can be a powerful tool, but it can also be detrimental if used as a means to avoid honest communication. It's crucial to recognize that while distancing and silence may have their place in certain situations, it's also crucial to open clear and sincere channels of communication. Lack of communication can lead to misunderstandings, resentments, and emotional distancing, which can undermine the stability of a relationship. It's necessary for both men and women to commit to expressing their thoughts, feelings, and needs openly and respectfully when faced with conflicts or tensions, instead of resorting to silence as a way to avoid confrontations. It's important to address issues head-on with empathy and mutual understanding. Honest and open communication is the foundation of any healthy and lasting relationship. Therefore, as we explore the emotional dynamics and effects of silence on a woman's mind, we must also remember the importance of communication as a vital tool for strengthening and nurturing emotional bonds in a relationship. And so we come to the end of this conversation about the complexity of relationships. It's crucial to understand that it's not always simple to comprehend the motivations behind people's actions in love and in living together. There are countless details that may escape our initial perception. Therefore, it's important to avoid jumping to conclusions and not to create expectations that may not materialize. We need to deepen our understanding of the emotions that influence our interactions. I hope this video has provided useful reflections and some tips for better understanding relationships. Thank you for watching, and remember, knowing yourself and cultivating empathy are essential for building healthy relationships. Take care, and until next time.